Welcome to Geniebook's first ever podcast. Come along with us as we discuss insightful topics in education and tech to help you and your child make the best of your learning experiences today for a rapidly changing tomorrow.
I'm Akida, better known as Teacher Kid for my students.
And I'm Louis. My students know me as Louis Logic. Now, for today's hot topic, did you know that MOE has made a major move and removed all the mid-year exams for all primary and secondary school levels?
Now look, I'm a mother of four, and my third one is actually sitting for a major exam. Can you believe that?
Oh, are you stressed?
Obviously. Now, what about you?
I'm stressed for my students, but for my own kid, she's just 3 years old, so no mid-year exams there. Yeah.
Nice.
You wonder why did they remove the mid-year examinations?
Well, I guess they want to move away from academics and they want to focus more on the joy of learning.
Why didn't that happen during our time?
I know, right? During our time, we actually had
Yeah, so they had 2 major exams and 2 minor exams, and so we spent all that time having to prep, having to learn such a big chunk of information just for one major test.
I agree.
But is it really such a good idea? I mean, there's certain things, if you think about it, right? Certain things about having 2 major exams that actually help students. You know, so for example, right, if you have 2 major exams, during the midterm exam, students get a yardstick.
I agree.
Of how much they have learned.
It's a wake-up call, right?
Yeah.
For those who actually don't do that well, right?
Correct.
It's actually a wake-up call.
Now, would you rather have 3 minor tests followed by 1 major exam at the end of the year? Or would you rather your daughter do 2 minor and 2 major exams every year?
Okay, I'll definitely go with the 2 major. Okay, honestly, like the moment I heard the news, mid-years, no more, Sec 4, I was like, what?
Panic station.
Of course. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you know, she's going to get a wake-up call only towards the end. Like, okay, so never mind. I tell myself, it's all right, you know. Now, every day I have to go into a room. Have you done revision? Have you done anything today? Like, can you do half an hour revision? You know how panicky I get? Just because I know that there's no mid-year, I know she'll be more relaxed.
Okay, so thinking about that, right? If they were to make the weighted assessment more difficult, or if she fared worse for the weighted assessment, right, would she have gotten that shock that she needed?
Perhaps because she knows, it's a weighted assessment. It's not like a major exam. You know, I don't think she'll be that affected.
Let's talk about the stress level for your daughter. Do you think that her stress levels are consistently low because of this? Or do you think that, you know, you would rather have a major exams to like give her kick up her backside?
Okay, that's the thing, because I guess every child is unique, right? But for my child, okay, she needs that.
She needs to kick up.
She needs the wake-up call. And if I wait till all the way to prelims, it's going to be a bit too late.
Now, if you're talking about primary school and secondary school, right? Primary school and secondary school, how do you think these 2 groups of students will be affected differently by this new initiative?
Okay, I actually think between primary and secondary, I think the more important one would be the ones where it's major exams and those who are sitting for major exams and those who are sitting for normal exams, right? I mean, for major exams, if they don't have the mid-year, you panic. For those who are not in the important years, as we call it, right? At least they still have time. You know, they know that, this year is not a major year, you know? How about you? What do you think? Is there any difference?
I feel that the mid-year exams can serve as a wake-up call, but for some students, especially, I think if they consistently fare okay, not too well, when they get a really harsh mid-year exam, especially for the major years, I feel that some people, it really depends on students.
Yes.
But some students may get really demoralized after a mid-year exam and they just, they'll just give up. They will just hands off. And just whatever will be, this is my standard, okay, I'm not going to try that hard.
But the parents would think otherwise, I would say.
Okay.
So like, come on, if you did badly in the mid-year, time to brush up, you know?
Okay, so let's talk about the secondary school students. So I know for a fact, right, that in secondary school, Sec 1 to Sec 3 now that there are no mid-year exams.
Okay.
For the English subject, instead of testing them on the standard 4 papers, composition, situational writing, they are now being tested on various other things like presentations. They're going to do some debates. Some of them even have CSR projects as part of their assessment criteria. Right? So I want to know your thoughts on that. Do you think that this is a good measure moving forward to get away from academics?
Okay, I guess it prepares them better for the future, don't you think? Okay, like my daughter, like she actually told me that for one of her English, she had to do on plagiarism. She had to do her own research. And then she had to come up with her own presentation. So she actually made use of Microsoft. I mean, during our time, we got Microsoft Word. I was typing on the typewriter. Okay, a bit revealing my age. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so, so it was interesting for me, but I don't know how exactly will they be graded like that. I mean,
I think, again, I think the ministry wants to move away, from the specific academics.
Exactly.
Like
Right?
the people who have already been academically very successful, right? They will be pushed into streams where their academic success or their academic learning becomes exponentially higher. And then you have students who probably aren't that academically inclined. They will give them more opportunities to explore things that they have interest in.
Correct. I agree.
I have a Sec 3 student who is in normal academic.
Okay.
And in the past year or so, he didn't really do very well for his English exams. He will be either at a borderline pass or borderline failure.
Okay.
So he had this very passenger attitude towards his learning. This year, he had a slight difference in format. He had a second weighted assessment as his mid-year. And I could see a marked improvement after he received his result, because for the first time, he achieved a strong B4 grade, like around 50 to 60 marks, 55 to 60 marks. So there was a marked improvement in his marks. And I realized that there were two components to his weighted assessment. The first component was a standardized test, which he did. It was for a situational writing, and he had a comprehension to do as well. But on top of that, right, instead of giving them an oral test or a listening compre test, they gave him a presentation, and he had to do some sort of CSR project along with this presentation, right? And because of this presentation mark, it bumped his marks up by so much that he suddenly realized, hey, I can do English.
Wow.
I can score this language. Yeah. So it was an interesting thing that the authorities did, that for some reason or other motivated these people to these students to realize that there is other avenues for them to explore the subject.
So I guess the government did their job. The student did.
Good job.
So have a joy for learning, right? No, but I guess for different schools, they do it differently. For my daughter, she had to actually do a research on plagiarism. And then she had to put it in PowerPoint form, and she had to do a presentation. So I guess that was also part of another assessment.
So I'm an anxious parent, right? My kid is 3 years old. I know a bit too early, but I want to know how to be more involved in her learning, especially when she gets into primary or secondary school. So what are some of these techniques that you have?
Techniques that I have. Okay, firstly, I have to emphasize that the more involved a parent is, the higher the chances that the kid will actually succeed.
Okay,
so like for my case, right, I actually have a friend. Okay, she will tell you straight, hey, I can't teach. Okay, so what she does is she actually just sits there with them.
Okay.
So at the dining table, all her kids will be there with her, and she'll be crocheting.
Serious?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
And then her kids will be there studying, and her kid actually is a top student of the school. So it's something amazing, like, having all kinds, there can be all kinds of support. You can have moral support. Like for me, I give the teacher support.
Okay.
And then we also have, like, you can even do other activities as well, like fun activities, at least for maths, right? Like for me, I would actually bring my kids out, okay, when we go grocery shopping, or I'm actually, every cent counts. So when we do go grocery shoppings, right, what we'll do is, I'll like, okay guys, help me pick out the cheapest one. And I'm not talking about, oh, this is $2, this is $1, oh, this is cheaper. They have to count right up to the 100 ml, how much it costs.
Oh my gosh.
And then they're like, yes, exactly. And they will be like, oh, mommy, this is the cheapest.
Oh wow, my God, my wife can't even do that.
Okay, so that's what we do.
Sorry, wife.
That's what I do, as a fun activity for the kids as well. And through that, they actually learn about money, right? Percentage. When you go shopping, right, you can actually go and, tell the kids, okay, there's a discount of 25%. You can teach them percentage at a really early age. Okay, but on a more serious note, for me, mid-year exam, right? In place of the mid-year exam, so what I'll do is I'll actually give her past year exam paper. And then being a teacher, right? So I'll mark it and then I'll look at the topics that she's weak at. And then from there, I'll actually generate personalized AI worksheets from Geniebook.
Wow.
So that's how I use Geniebook for me.
Awesome. I mean, Geniebook, yeah. So maybe I think I've some things I can take away from. Number one, use Geniebook worksheets to help them learn. Number two,
Yes, it was supplement.
be around them, get them to do the math for you at the supermarkets. Number three, pick up crochet. Pick up, what's that thing called?
Yeah, sure.
Crochet. Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
At least, as long as you are there.
As long as I'm there, okay.
Hey, you know, there's another way that you can do it. You know, a lot of them say, oh, I can't teach this subject.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
ask them, can you read English? Can you understand English?
I'm sure most of them can.
Exactly,
Most
right?
of them can.
So I tell them, then read with them.
Oh, okay.
You know, it may not be something familiar with you, you know, but at least, you know, when you are there and you're trying to like, okay, let's figure it out together. You know, the child will actually feel much more motivated.
Yeah, they feel engaged by the parent. They don't feel so abandoned.
Correct.
Your learning is my learning, okay? So involvement
Yes,
in our
involvement,
students' learning,
right.
involvement in the things that they like to do. I think that's very important. Yeah.
For me, I you know, when my kids actually started human in secondary, oh my goodness, I'm like, what? You want me to remember what I learned? No, that was like donkey years ago,
Yeah.
right? So what I do is I make them do notes. Okay, you give me your notes and I'll test you on that. So at least I help them in memorizing.
I guess as parents, we involve ourselves to help to make learning more interesting and more fun for our children. Right? There's some things that we can do like flashcards or trivia cards or even generate some quizzes for them, right? So what are some ways that you do?
I take the easy way out.
Oh, what's your
Two
cheat?
words.
Okay.
Bubble store.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I don't allow my kids to purchase anything online. No, sorry. I'm not the kind of parent who will spend money on games online.
Oh.
So it was such a motivation for him. Oh, mommy, I can claim Robux.
Oh, Robux.
There you go.
No money for games, but in a way you incentivize them to get that money for
You
games.
do your worksheets, and then you get the bubble.
You get the bubble, then you can play your
You
game.
can do it. Oh, we've talked quite a bit today about a lot of topics, right?
Lots of topics.
Exactly. Okay, so let's summarize it for them. Okay, so firstly, like, how do we actually adapt to the new direction that MOE is going?
We have this 3T approach to adapt to these new changes in the MOE system. First, remember to trust the process.
Yes.
Okay, understand, you and your child understand that failure is not final, right? The weighted assessments serve to make your child more consistent in their learning, right?
panic.
Yes, don't panic. There are no major exams, so don't worry. It's not final, right? It's not like it's not fatal. Next, try new things. Presentations, project work, other non-academic activities help your child think out of the box.
Yes, you can actually try to get your kids to do budgeting on Google Sheets.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay.
Finally, ensure that you communicate and take the initiative. Key, okay? Take the initiative. Ensure that your child and you know the topics that are being covered for every weighted assessment. Okay?
A tip from the teachers.
Teachers tip, yes. Okay? If you are unsure, okay, about the grading criteria, please check with the teachers in charge of the subject.
Yes.
Right. Make sure, don't leave it to chance. Don't get your tuition teachers to check for you. Right. Make sure you are the ones doing the checking.
Communicate,
right?
yeah,
and
with the teachers.
Communicate with the teachers.
That's right. And I'd like to add on that the involvement of the parents, no matter how much, is very important. Okay, in this case, whether it's physical, whether it's moral, even emotional support, communication is really the key between you and your child. You're having a relationship, when you have communication like that, they will come up to you and they will tell you about the problem. And that's half of the problem solved. And with that, we hope that we have left you with valuable tips that can help you and your child adapt to the new norm and leverage on this huge shift. Drop us a like and share this video with your friends who might share the same content.
Thank you for tuning in to this podcast. We hope that you have some valuable takeaways today. If you have any questions regarding this topic or any other educational topics, please reach out to us on our socials. We look forward to hearing from you and stay tuned for future podcasts coming your way. Bye-bye!